Hi all, Goda Govinda. First of all, thank you so much for subscribing to my ML channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you to all my friends and who are still supporting me. Like since my childhood. So the first topic I would like to discuss, or we would like to discuss, is about like the food lifestyle, because I know everybody are foodie, right? I mean, some people would love to express that they are foodie, and some people would try to they're very hesitant in letting everybody know that they are foodie. But I myself is a very big foodie. Like, whoever has have closely worked with me, like they know about this secret, even though I don't look like that. But I'm a very big foodie. Like, whenever I get mad, I mean, the first thing I would go to is the food. I'll show my angerness. I'll just try to pacify myself by eating a loads and loads of food. It doesn't matter. So with that being said, like, since food is a staple intake of every day of our life, I was just thinking, like, why can't we discuss about the food lifestyles which we undergo every day, and how could we improve it on a daily basis? Even the petty things which we swap in our day-to-day life, it would make a huge difference, towards our health as well as towards our mind, which will make us to work very efficiently and also a better person. So have you ever, like, wondered, sorry for the background noise, have you ever experienced this, like, after eating a certain type of food, you really feel very irritating in the tummy, or you have a irritating bowel movement? Excuse me, sorry. Irritating bowel movement, or the whole night you are feeling so upset, your mood swings. Because I personally have experienced those, especially when I eat any spicy food. Like in my childhood, like, I'll get really cranky or mad. And also, like, if I eat anything with refined sugar, like, I would get really super happy, like a laughter gas. So I would be keep on laughing. So I'm pretty sure, like, most of you would have experienced it. But, like, if you have not yet, please try it. I mean, like, try to have a spicy food or any food, salty, whatever, savory, sweet, whatever it is. And then, like, if you see a changes in your attitudinal behavior, then this is the right place where we are going to discuss it in further. So basically, the food what we intake is what we are. So everybody knows about it, right? We are what we eat. So, with that said, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna has clearly mentioned this, stating that, eating a certain type of food would lead to certain kind of character traits. For example, he did clearly mention, like, people who always indulge in more spicy, salty, and then, like, certain type of foods, they are more prone to angerness and also irritability. Similarly, there are other types of food which we should avoid, but we can discuss that later on. So these kind of food regulations are not new to us, because if you go back with our origin and the roots, they already have defined, like, every meal, like, how they have already planned every meal to make sure we have every portion of our nutrients, like, we are getting it on a daily basis. Say, for example, like morning breakfast, usually South India will have, like, idli or dosa. So idli is a very staple food. Similarly, north, they have like paratha and everything. So this is not new to us. But then, like, we just like like thought, like, this is the option we have. And then, like, we started falling back. So if you look into from the statistics perspective, like, I was very shocked to know, like, 34% of the entire US population already prone to diabetes, obesity, and everything. And those were caused due to the unhealthy eating habits or unhealthy food lifestyle. So that has been confirmed by the doctors. So that is why all the daycares and schools, they are just swapping their unhealthy meal plans into a healthy one, which includes, healthy fruits, vegetables, and, portions of grains, meat, and then dairy and everything. So when we start like traging back, like, why we are getting into all these diseases, it is basically the food what we intake. So right now all the food what we intake are all processed, so which we cannot avoid it unless we ourselves start our own gardening. I know most of my friends are, they're really good at it, but I am not. So so when I came to know, because I am being a vegetarian since my childhood, I myself struggled a lot, even in my childhood as well as coming over here, how to make the good choice. So today we are going to discuss about what are the swaps we can make, and also what I learned from my own experience with the trial and error methods, and also from my friends and family, kith and kin. So basically the main cause for the diabetes and all hypertension, heart diseases, stroke, whatever we call it as, it's all because of the food intake. And as I said earlier, we cannot avoid the processed food, because even the vegetables we are getting are being transported or exported. But what we could do is we can shop at the local farmers market, because we can support them, as well as all the local farmers market, their produces are mostly organic, and also it is very fresh, because I myself have purchased from farmers market, including dairy and everything. So that we could do. Another reason what we could swap is avoid meat eating. I know I have a variety of subscribers, so I want to cover each one of them. I know some of them are vegetarians, some of them are vegans, some of them are non-vegetarians or carnivorous eaters. So I want to focus on all audiences. So basically if we avoid meat, most of the issues would be burnt into ashes. You can ask me how. Because meat has all the fat, unsaturated fat, and then it has tons of protein. I agree with that, but then think from this perspective. Meat eating will lead to any aggressive behavior. How? Because meat is nothing but the flesh of the animal, right? So the flesh of the animal has that particular animal's character traits. For example, I know pork they'll eat, and then chicken and whatever it is. So, and it has blood, pus, whatever inside the meat, it will affect your character, and ultimately it will affect your mind. So if we avoid meat eating completely, that would be the first biggest step you could all take towards taking care of your health. And even all the doctors agree to it. And then second thing is instead of getting a processed foods, say for example refined sugar, we can swap refined sugar with coconut sugar. Because I myself, I tried coconut sugar in baking and also in regular things. It really worked great. And coconut sugar has a low glycemic index. That means it does not have simple carbohydrates, which would shoot up our glucose level in the bloodstream, which is leading to the diabetic issues. I know many people who have complained how would I get the protein intake if I stop eating meat? How would vegetarians, vegetarians are always protein deficient. I mean, those are all utter falsification. So proteins can be got from the foods that are very close to nature, from right from vegetables. Broccoli has 10 grams of protein in 1 cup of broccoli, steamed broccoli. Similarly, lentils, oh my goodness, mung beans. Mung beans has more protein than any other lentils. Similarly, chickpeas pulses has more protein than any other beans. And then certain type of rices has more protein, samba rice, jeeraka samba rice, or sona masuri rice has more protein. So and there are certain type of rices which has low glycemic index too. So if you're going for a shopping, please look for it. I know most of the people who do already, but I'm just sharing with those who might not be aware of or trying to look for an alternative, because this channel is meant for everyone, not just focusing on one particular audiences. So another myth is eating rice is not good for health. Yes, of course, everything has to have a limit, otherwise what would happen is it would have a drastic effect on our body. That doesn't mean that we have to avoid that nutrient completely, because carbohydrate is really required for our brain functioning. Carbs are really required. Similarly, fats are really required. I mean, we can use ghee. Ghees are really very, very healthy, to our body as well as to our mind as well as to our soul. because like I know many people have the myth, or falsified statements, get attracted to all these statements stating that, oh, we should avoid ghee, we should avoid oil. Actually, oil will create the friction between the muscles and the bones, so we need the oil to maintain the friction in our body. So everybody will say it's 4 teaspoons of oil is required, is mandatory per day in order to maintain a friction in your body. So if there is no friction, then you will get all the osteoporosis and everything. I know people would comment calcium is required for only because of calcium deficiency osteoporosis will occur, or will disease will come, but that's not the only truth. If the friction is gone, then you cannot do anything. So that's where we are getting all the muscle cramps and all those things. Of course, we have supplements to supplements to counteract the certain nutrients which we cannot get it from the food. So these are simple swaps we could do every day. Even oil also we can swap with the olive oil with coconut oil, because coconut oil has tons and tons of health benefits as well as skin benefits too. So olive oil is really good, and then coconut oil is really good. So I basically use coconut oil as well as olive oil a lot. I'll eat a lot of ghee, because if to me ghee gives me energy. Of course, I use vegan ghee. So but even the cow's ghee also it's very, very good. So instead of going for a canola oil, please do not even use canola oil, because I got to know from one of my vegan friend that canola oil is used for cleaning the machines in the factories. So it is used to cleaning the grease in the factories. So think about it, when we consume canola oil, it will not clean the dirt. Instead, it will just it will just stain in our body parts, and that also will cause drastic consequences or effects in our body. So please do not use canola oil, because I was using canola oil a few years back, which is 10 years ago. But then once I came to know from one of my vegan friend, his name is Jeffrey, he clearly told me that canola oil should not be used for cooking or even for consuming, because that is used for cleaning the machines in the factories, to have the greasy stain in the machines so that the machine would work fine. So the same effect we would have in our body. So it's not used for cleaning, it's used for having the greasy effect in the machines, so that the machine can work fine. So he clearly told me we should not consume it. So I stopped consuming it. So I would like to share that information with you all. And then what else? So despite doing all those things, I know it is difficult for carnivorous eaters to completely change into vegetarian in a day or in an overnight. But if we take a simple steps towards vegetarianism, it would be really better for us, to have to lead a healthy life, which in turn leads to a healthy mind. So if you want to replace meat, or if you want a craving for meat, you can replace it with paneer or tofu, because both has a meaty texture. And also mung beans, if you cook it like a soup, it has a very, very nice flavor, and it's very filling too. So and also if you're looking for some recipe websites, I can share a few websites with you. One of the website I always look for vegan is lovingitvegan.com. It is a very good website for vegan as well as vegetarian. I mean, of course, that is a vegan website, but for carnivorous eaters who prefer to change their lifestyle into vegetarian, then they can look into the tofu recipes and all those things. And then the Tasty Food, My Tasty Food has tons and tons of tasty.co has tons and tons of vegetarian as well as vegan recipes. And if you're looking for Indian recipes, then I would say I would mostly get into Subbu's kitchen.com, herberskitchen.com, and also ragskitchen.com. So those three are my and the shantistallige.com. So those four are my to go for all the Indian recipes. But mostly since I'm a vegan follower, not 100%, but almost there yet, 99% I'm a vegan follower in terms of everything, like food, clothing, and also my lifestyle also. So if you're a vegan or if you want to try the vegan diet, then Loving It Vegan is a very, 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 very good website, because they even post many recipes for vegan mayonnaise, and then vegan cheese, etc. So that is all I have for today. Even while choosing these supplements, I would suggest you to go for a supplement which is nature, close to the nature, like nature organic bar. And then I use the product Alive multivitamin, because whatever intake I'm taking, I'm not sure whether I'll get 100% or I'll meet the daily needs. So in order to counter, of course with my physicians, primary physicians consultation only. So Alive has it's made up of only vegetables and fruits, and it is free of pectin and then gelatin and everything. Gelatin is also I would say a non-veg, because it is extracted from one of the sea animal, aquatic animal. I'm not sure about the exact details. So if you want to replace gelatin, then you can use agar agar, that you can get it from Asian market. So if you're looking for a vegan food options, then my go-to store would be Sprouts, because Sprouts has a variety of vegan options as well as vegetarian options. And they do have posted few recipes and all those things. So we can swap refined sugar with coconut sugar if you're looking for low glycemic index, because we have to lead a healthy life, to have a healthy family and also balanced family, since everybody are busy with their day-to-day work with full of stress and everything. So in order to balance both family as well as work, then we have to take care of ourselves. So this is one way of taking care of ourselves. I know some people would use turbinado sugar as well as brown sugar, but I would prefer you all to try the coconut sugar. You won't see a difference. It tastes like a palm sugar. In Tamil we call it as panangal kandu. So it exactly tastes like a palm sugar, but it's very very tasty. You can have it with milk, and then you can just use it for any kheer or any desserts. I even used for baking. It really tasted very delicious. So those things I thought I would like to share. So the next thing I would like to share, next session, I would like to share about is about the skincare, because since I'm a very organic person, and try to use natural products to overcome all the daily needs. I would like to share about the skincare routine, as well as a little bit about the food, about the veganism, and why we have to go vegan with respect to clothing and everything. And if you'd like me to discuss some other topic, please feel free to text me or email me. I know most of my friends have my friends and close contacts have my phone number as well as my email ID. So please feel free to text me. So I would do some research and I would try it out first, and then I'll discuss it later. Okay, have a good rest of the day. See you next time. Goda Govinda. Bye bye.